You think it's just the taste, don't you? Just the bile going sour. The hunger hitting wrong. But the blood remembers. It's not grief they're bottling anymore, it's frenzy. Desire, stripped of meaning. Rage cut loose from sorrow. Every time someone like you reached for love and was told to want quieter, they kept that, distilled it, turned it loose. Now the blood runs hot. It itches, it laughs, it makes you brave, then stupid. Makes you think the chaos is yours, but it's not. They're seeding it, drip by drip. Selling wildness in crystal flasks, calling it liberation. But it's leashed pleasure. Predictable rebellion. And while you tear your pretty selves apart in the streets, they toast you with clean cups. The blood's louder now. Too loud to ignore. And it's not asking anymore. It is daring you to listen. The city of Edinburgh rises like a jagged silhouette across the dark sky, its ancient castle looming over the winding Royal Mile. The city is a maze of narrow cobblestone streets where fog clings to the buildings and the scent of rain mixes with the faint smell of burning wood. Shadows stretch long as night falls, wrapping the city in an uneasy stillness. It's a place of haunting beauty, where history and chaos intertwine, and the blood that courses through its veins feels tainted with something darker. Maijai, if you could please roll me a d6.
Just one.
Just one.
3.
3. You were running an errand somewhere in the city. If you could please tell us what you're doing, who you are, and what we see when we see you.
If I'm running, am I running an errand for someone?
That is your decision. What might you be doing?
If I'm running an errand, I think I've gone down to the local, if there's an art store or anywhere that I could find paints and pencils, and I would be, you would see a sort of very petite, almost weak looking woman with long dark brown hair that's sort of attempted to be tied up into, there's plaits and it's all very high up, but it doesn't sit very well. It sort of looks like it's falling out, and she hasn't tried to fix it, and she's in a blue dress with puffed sleeves and sort of a belled skirt, and there's probably still paint on her hands and marks of charcoal across the sides of her hands. And she goes into the shop and she moves with purpose. She knows exactly what she's looking for. She gets this stuff all the time. And she'll be looking at the charcoals and looking at any of the pencils and all of the paints, and she'll be sort of restocking any of her supplies that have worn down or gone dry.
And what's your character's name?
Okay.
Echo. Echo, you hear her before you see her. Footsteps. Light. Then a voice. Curious. Dry as wine. Soft as a cut. You've got the kind of look people write endings about. Directed at you.
What do you mean?
And stepping out of the shadow, boots soaked in rain, a coat that seems too fine to be in this part of town, hair undone, and a mask tucked into her belt, barely visible. Well, I thought maybe you were following me. But then I realised you're just walking the same kind of wrong.
Well, why would I be following you? I mean, you're not... What? I'm sure people might follow you a lot. Maybe. You're quite a presence, I suppose.
Goosebumps move up your arm as you recognise another undead.
Well, can I help you with anything?
Well, I was in here looking for something new, some new form of medium. I'm recently taking a dabble into the arts, but I don't know for the life of me what to pick up.
Well, it depends on what sort of thing you're looking for. If you wanted to do more abstract stuff and you wanted to do landscapes, then watercolors are very nice. And if you wanted to sketch people, then you're better off with charcoals and pencils. And
I think people are definitely. I like to look at the form, think about it deeply.
Me too.
So which should I pick? What would be your favourite?
I think charcoals are always the nicest to use.
Okay. I shall give it a go. She steps a little closer to you.
If you wanted any, you said you're new to it, so if you wanted any help at all, then I could maybe help. I've been drawing for quite a long time.
You see the lantern catch the edge of her face. You see these bloodshot eyes and lips that are a little too red. She tilts her head. Doesn't this city feel louder lately? Like it's screaming in a key we've all forgotten how to hear.
I suppose.
Maybe you've not heard it yet. She smiles at you, but not kind, not cruel, somewhere in between. If you start hearing it, come find me. I'll be listening too. And she slips out the door, passes behind a butcher shop, and she's gone.
I think Echo just sort of stands for a minute trying to figure out whatever that was. People don't really approach her very often. And then sort of, I think she sort of stays in a very sort of confused state while she then buys the rest of her things and sort of heads back to I guess back to wherever the the anatomy department is.
We'll move across town. Jacob, could you also roll me a d6, please?
That's a 3.
A 3. Let's see. You are also running an errand somewhere in the city. But you're not alone.
No.
What are you doing? Who are you with? And what do we see when we see you?
I'm with... You see a respectable gentleman walking through the streets. Well-dressed, top hat, curly hair coming in around the top hat. Most of the curly hair is up under it. The curls come down into a curly beard, but a bare upper lip. And he's got like sort of a nice, I don't know what it's called, that fancy ruffle in the front, and a good dark coat on, and a cane. He's maybe a little underdressed for the weather here, which is cool, but he doesn't seem to be bothered by that. And on his arm is a also well-dressed woman. They're not upper class, but they're doing well for themselves. And this would be Ezra and Antonia.
And what errands do you think you're running right now?
Oh, probably we have guests coming, and we're going to check out some sort of. We're checking in on the meal, the cake that we're getting for this dinner that we're planning together, for some other members of the faculty at the university.
Antonia turns to you and say, well, do you think we should buy 1 bottle, 2, maybe even 3, push the boat out a little?
I think 3.
3. And she will look over and say, just red?
I suppose it would be out of character to do anything different.
Is it worth pushing the boat out? Trying to do something a little different for once?
I sense a note in your voice, my dear. Are you getting that itch again?
I mean, the night feels good again, don't you think?
It does.
Like we might dance instead of die.
We're dying every night.
Don't I know it?
But your feet are getting antsy, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Don't worry, I'm not going to run.
No, but is it time again to make our move?
It could be. No, do you feel it too?
I feel something, but you're always quicker to this than I am. Always. You always have been.
It feels like there's some sort of hum underneath these cobblestones. Like the city's heart is finally remembering how to beat, and that worries me.
Is it a worry from the beating of a heart, or is it a worry that it's waking up to us?
I can't be seen again.
How is it any different from the past?
Well, it just seems like... Well, they used that word progress. And that's what this feels like. It feels like progress is more about ways they might find us and stop us from ever running and moving on.
They've done beautiful things.
You feel that it doesn't feel like grief in her voice. Not like a sorrow, there's just an anxiety there.
We've stopped in the street for a moment to have this conversation, and I turn and I hold both her hands as I have done for many, many years. And I look her in the eye and I say, regardless of anything else, we have each other always and forever.
Forever. It's a big word. And we'll move out of this scene to a rooftop where someone is watching you. You don't notice it, but we see it.
No, okay.
Michelle, if you could go ahead, please, and roll me a d6.
It's a 5.
Okay. Michelle, if you could tell us who we see, why they're here, and how they're feeling as we move to your character who is lying in the ashes of a burned down building. What happened to get you into this mess?
It was a rainy day. It's always a rainy fucking day in this town, which made it very, very hard to get the building to catch fire. But the challenge does make it a little bit more interesting, and it caught eventually. But everyone got out, which made it far more tedious again. And so, overcome with the absolute pointlessness of the entire endeavor, Mhairi lay down in the ashes, ran her fingers, drawing little patterns, looked up at the remnants of the walls, black stained with soot, her dark hair blending in with the soot, her dark, thick cotton fitted dress, which is exactly of the fashion of the time, but not so elaborate or ostentatious to mark her out as anyone worth noticing, is sprawled out, the skirts making a sort of snow angel in the ash. And Mhairi is sighing. She is saying to herself, I'm sure once there was a place with so many books, and people screamed for those books, and it was ever so fun. But this fire just didn't have the same effect. What not a waste of time.
You hear a small voice just going, well, I liked it. I think you did a very good job, Mhairi.
You always say that.
And a few feet away, lying on his back, rolling, is a small terrier. A small, scruffy grey dog.
Oh. I'm glad it drew you away from your usual haunt, at least.
Well, I had to come and see what you were doing. This is something different, isn't it? This is the third time.
The best.
Probably the Ash Angel.
You like that more than the fire and the warmth and the heat?
Oh, well, I've gotten used to sitting outside, you know. I don't know the last time I felt the warmth of a fire. So it was nice enough, but I like art.
Fair enough. Why don't you come and make a little cherub to lie by my angel,
Okay. Where shall I go? And he will do the dog thing of walking in circles, trying to figure out where to go.
You know, when you do that, you remind me of me.
Oh, Is that a good thing?
If you like.
I'll go here and starts to try and roll in the ash to make some form of cherub. Does this look right?
Did you have fun doing it?
I'm not sure. And sneezes.
Well, then, it's about as right as this whole endeavour was.
He stands up and he paws at the ground and then gives a little kind of huff, like a dog, not like a person talking. You smell different.
Do I?
Sadder. Louder.
I feel a little bit sadder.
But you're still you. I know you better.
Unfortunately so, yes.
They forgot your name, didn't they? I didn't know. Not once. Not even when the city stopped singing. I will always remember. Mhairi. Mhairi.
It's usually pronounced Mhairi.
Mhairi. I'll never forget it.
That's lovely. You know it's okay to forget things. I wish I could occasionally.
Me too.
I've had a lot of names, you know.
Okay. You remember mine?
Of course I do, Bobby.
You said you'd only be a moment. Just a quick rest, remember? I waited, like always. Sat by the stone, just like we did when the sun fell low and your pipe smoke curled into the dusk. But the moment turned into a night. Then another. Then the kind of silence that doesn't end. They tried to take me away. Kind hands, food I couldn't taste. But I came back. I always came back. This is where your scent still lingers, in the cold stone and wet grass. This is where we are. I don't understand. Not fully. Why your voice no longer calls me. Why your hand doesn't scritch behind my ears. But I know this. If you've gone on a long journey, I'll wait. I'm good at that. And when I close my eyes, sometimes I still feel your footsteps beside mine, like before. 2 shadows, 1 life. You need to be less scared. He presses gently against your ankle.
She sits up and picks him up in one hand.
Oh!
Says,
This is very funny.
I'm not scared of anything.
Could I get you to make me a duplicity roll?
So I roll 2d6, and for duplicity I add 1. That is a 9.
And a 9 or above is a success. So that is a success. Okay, I can see it in your eyes. You're not... No, you're not scared of anything.
Are you scared of being up here? Would you like to go down?
No, this is great fun.
All right, are you ready?
Oh
You Lion Kings him up in the air.
Oh no, I can see the whole city from up here. Well, no, I can't. It's just a burned out building.
Yes, well, that's roughly the shape of the whole city. She puts him down.
I know you were lying to me. Don't be scared of what you are. You were kind once, Mhairi.
I was never fucking kind, how dare you?
You were kind. You can be kind again.
You are the most annoying dog I've ever met, and let me tell you, I know many dogs. I've met many dogs, and I remember every one of them. And I don't remember them in the right order. Jeffrey. I'm talking about Jeffrey.
He's a prick.
He is a prick.
He pissed on my master's grave.
He pissed on my fucking shoe. Look at it. And she hikes up her skirts, and contrary to the very fashionable outfit, the shoes are big, heavy workers' boots covered in mud.
Well, those can take a piss.
Don't you get any ideas, Bobby, or I won't
No,
let you.
no. I choose lampposts, and I choose them well. To be fair, I'm several hundred years old. I don't piss very often.
Yes. Maybe you should open with that when you meet new people.
Okay, I will.
So let me know how it goes.
Thank you, Mhairi.
You're welcome, Bobby.
You'll run out into the street.
See you tomorrow. Stupid creature. And she'll head out of the ruined building. But she will pause to look at the little angel and the little misshapen cherub, and just kind of smirk and scoff before she moves on.
We come to our final character. Khalil, please roll me a d6.
2.
Where do we find you? Who are you? And what do we see as you are lying bruised and battered and bleeding in the gutter?
You see, we are looking down from above, and it's kind of close frame around a somewhat handsome kind of man with dark reddish brown complexion, and black, somewhat neatly groomed beard. Kind of hair curly but in disarray now as the rain kind of drips down onto my face. I generally try to avoid the rain. It's not something that I'm particularly comfortable with. My eyelids kind of unevenly flutter open. And I kind of cover my mouth to stop too much water getting in it. And groggily start to rise up to my elbows. As we zoom out slightly, we see that I'm dressed in clothes that are not particularly fancy, but they are, nice-ish, and they're the type of thing that you might wear to a party or on a night out, if you're someone of moderate means. There's a high collar to keep the wind and the rain out when I'm not lying down. And yes, my face is battered and bruised. One eye isn't fully opening. I've got like a big split lip where you can see that potentially one of my teeth might have cut a lip, and various kind of small contusions and injuries. The rain would also be, I think, masking the normal scent that you'd normally smell of kind of wood resins and incense, and salami. But I am... What time of day or night is it?
It's getting towards the evening.
Okay. So this is... Well, in public I go by Rami. And I've already been hitting the source pretty hard, and I think I was at a prize fight. I was watching a man fight a crocodile, and that was the kind of the undercard, and I was getting ready to place some bets on the main fight, which was going to be 2 local underground champions, but I may have overdone it slightly in my lubricatory indulgences. I think I might have challenged one of the bookmakers to a round ourselves after they refused to honor my bet that the crocodile would win, because I distracted the man, and the crocodile did win. Such is the way of nature, but apparently that's not allowed, and cheating and the type of thing that you get hurt for around here. So
You feel like kicking your ribs at that point.
you're still here? I thought we were even.
Nah, don't come fucking back here until you either come back with a lot of money to pay off what you've done, or find us a new undercard fighter for next time.
The crocodile would have got him in the end. I was just...
That's not your call to make, though. Just next time, let them do what they need to do. Don't interfere.
Look, okay, don't be so uptight.
Kicks you again.
Look, okay. God, I'm...
On your way. You're. Look at this mess that you're making in my gutter.
I get up, kind of squeege some of the gutter gunk off my coat. Look him in the eye. You people have no respect for the gift of life. And I spit a mouthful of blood and one single tooth, not a canine, at his boots before I kind of pop my collar and try to walk off with as many shreds of dignity as I can gather.
As you go to walk away, you just see a fist coming towards your face. And before you can react, before anything else happens, everything stops. And you just see smoke billow in front of your face. And then where this man was looking at you is a jackal.
Oh. Hello again.
You left the door open, Rami.
Not by choice, Lord Anubis.
Well, you need to stop doing this. You want to come through or you don't?
I would love to come through, but somebody has my key.
Well, that just won't work. You need that, right?
Yes. That's how we do things, isn't it?
Don't tell me. I'm very aware.
I know. But look, I feel like I'm getting my feet somewhat. Well, if you pardon the expression. But I still haven't found that demon monster.
I think they call them archaeologists.
Whatever. These archaeologists who woke me up, stole my scarab, stole most of my bloody organs.
Including the important one, right?
Yes. Well, look, it's hard enough unliving an unlife here without also having the burden of trying to track down parts of myself. This place is strange. It's wet. It's cold. It's confusing. It's changing.
I'll get to it. The door can only remain open so long before the feather will just fall.
Oh. Now, we don't need to do that.
Well, I have a long ledger.
I know. But look, you've let me through once before. That was all fine. Just give me, a little bit more time. I will find it. I will set things right. And I will do whatever it takes to make that so.
Whatever it takes.
I was there. I was in the afterlife. I was in the court of Osiris. I was resting. I will do whatever it takes.
When it begins to hum, you'll know.
Hum. Oh, like a scarab.
The gate doesn't open to you. It will open because of you. Now, careful, this is going to hurt. He disappears and you get clocked in the face.
I go straight back down onto my ass. I say, ugh.
Spit at me, you prick. Slams a door.
I spit again.
Our 4 characters have their introductions, and then we are going to move on towards what is called a lurk. If you've never played this game or seen this game before, that was the opening scene, which is It's All Happening Tonight. We're now moving into Paint the Town Red, as we all move to the Edinburgh South Bridge, which is one of our lurks within this game. This is a space which people like you will congregate. There may be the undead, there may be some mortals in this space. This is a chance to hang out, find out information, maybe find a party that you can go to. This is a place underneath a bridge. It's not very nice for most people, but it's somewhere you all enjoy. Some of you more than others. But yeah, congregating on this space, who do you think would arrive in our lurk first?
I think Rami would at least be pleased to be out of the rain. So I think maybe, Rami is... his umbrella was broken in the fight. And so I've been kind of skulking my way, trying to make the most use I can of whatever awnings and cover are available. Collar high and tight around me, just really resenting the fuck out of every second. And hoping that tonight holds some kind of pleasure that will make it okay.
Okay, some kind of pleasure that will make everything okay. You arrive first. Who would be next?
I think that Rami feels a presence pull up next to him. And Mhairi says, "Good evening, you look like utter shite."
I am.
Mm.
How are you doing? You look...
Utter shite.
I was gonna say...
Yes, you don't need to tell me. I thought this shawl would keep me warm, and she pulls this big wool shawl, which, being made of wool, is now completely soaked through and far too heavy. But this fucking city.
Right? I thought my coat and umbrella would keep me nice and warm. But umbrella doesn't work when it's snapped in two over your head.
Those contraptions are ridiculous. They just go inside out.
Honestly, I think they're one of the few things that this place, this time, has going for it.
There was a woman once. It doesn't matter. Anyway, what are we doing? What's happening tonight? I'm bored.
Well, I've got of hashish, opium, mescaline, coca. I could probably find some nitrous somewhere. I've got an empty bladder somewhere.
Give me some of. She just points at random.
Ah, yes, a fine choice. Yes. I pull out from the inside of my pocket. It's like a kind of glass vial jar with some like dried fungus in there. It's like, agaricus. Yes. Good choice.
I remember the smell. I remember being somewhere leafy and dry. I remember being dry. That's of distance.
Oh, don't talk to me about dry.
What do I do with this?
Well, you can either eat it or you can put it in a mulled drink, or you can give it to one of them and have it as a kind of, hot red cocktail.
That might have been what I did. Yes, because he slighted me and he did. Yes. And she sort of looks around. She picks someone and is like, he looks like the one I did it to before. Let's see if it works the same. And she heads off towards a random guy she's seen.
Okay. There are a number of people in this space. There are two kind of middle-aged men wearing top hats and tails that are very scuffed and a bit muddy looking. You can see that their boots are covered in mud. There is also a couple of women, a couple of older men. There's a range of people. Would you be looking at the older men, the middle-aged men?
I think she nods in recognition to the middle-aged men as she passes them and goes to one of the older men.
Okay. Who will turn to look at you. And before we decide what's happening there, I imagine at this point, Echo, you will come in to this space and see what's going on. And Ezra, I don't know if you would arrive here with Antonia. So have a think about what you might do when you see that Mhairi is walking up to an older man with some drugs. This elderly man will look towards you and say, hello, do I know you?
What brings you to the underside of a bridge at this time of night?
Well, just looking for a good time, isn't everyone?
Here's some. Best time I got for you. And she'll gesture with that vial.
Oh, this is... I've never seen anything like this before. You don't feel anything across your arm. This man is a mortal man.
I'll give it to you if you tell me the worst thing you've ever done.
The worst thing I've ever done? I mean, you see him physically start to sweat. I mean, how bad are we talking?
I'll give it to you if you tell me the worst thing you've ever done.
Would you like to make a roll to see if you can convince him to do so? That could be alluring, I think, for this one.
Not my best, but here we are. That's an 8.
Okay, so an 8 is a failure. You could get the blood running, which is when you push your roll. You could roll again, but you will add 1 to your chaos if you choose to do that.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Do I re-roll both dice?
I can't fully remember, but yes, let's go for it.
Let's go for it. Well, all I did was make it worse. That's a 7.
Okay. So add 1 to your chaos. Is this a trap? The worst thing that I've ever done. I beat the butcher's boy once with a stick for not arriving on time with our delivery.
We all do that.
Oh. I mean, that's all I've got. Can I have that?
Yeah, fine. Sure. Boring. She hands it over.
How would I do with it?
I don't know.
Oh.
Eat it.
Eat. We'll just like take it out this small little, is it a vial, and just pop it in his mouth.
Let me know how that goes for you.
Have a lovely night. Echo, Ezra. Unless, like, Rami, have you got a thing to add in here very quickly?
I was going to say that, like, after Mhairi moves on, I was going to, and maybe not immediately, but at some point, probably I'd give it a few minutes to see it, to allow things to start to kick in. But I'll sidle up to that same man and I'll say, "You look troubled. You having an okay evening, sir?"
I can't feel my tongue.
Ah, yes.
What's
Yes, that'll be the
happened?
cold, yes.
Why have you got so many eyes?
Ah, no, this is just a completely normal number of eyes. One thing I would say is, something that'll warm you up, get the circulation going, maybe you feel your tongue again. A little bit of a climb, some good exercise.
Climb. I've got a bad shoulder, but
I've got something for that. And I reach in and I pull out another vial. This time filled with like a kind of black paste.
This will help me climb. What?
Oh yes.
I can't feel my fingers.
So the man is smoking a like a little kind of cigarillo, and I'll just kind of like dab some of this just around where it's burning. Like, yes, this will help you with your shoulder and massively improve your athletic prowess. So let's fix that circulatory problem, shall we? I don't believe I've ever seen anyone climb this bridge all the way to the top.
Okay, I think I can do it. And
I think everyone would be very impressed.
Okay, he throws the cigarette away and just like starts to climb in the rain.
Yep, up you go, faster.
Is this you indulging your passion?
Yes.
Okay.
Me persuading inebriated mortals to make foolish and dangerous choices.
Okay, amazing. In this moment, before we resolve what happens to this poor man, Ezra and Echo, what are you doing as you arrive in the space? Like to see that Mhairi gave a man a mushroom and Rami has convinced him to climb a bridge.
Echo was sort of heading over to, and seeing that Rami was very uncomfortable being wet and in the cold, was heading over, like taking off her shawl to go hand it to him, and then sees this man start climbing. So I think she's just going to run over it. Why is he climbing? I don't think that's very safe for people to climb. It's raining and he's probably going to slip.
Oh, it's completely safe.
Why are you... See, but now you're making me think that it's not safe, and I think we should probably go and get him down.
This is what you do, right? Am I doing it correctly?
Yeah, you're doing it great.
I'm going to call up to the man that's climbing. Are you okay?
I can't feel my legs, but I'm just continuing to push through.
Don't worry, you're almost there. We're all very impressed. We're all clapping, aren't we?
It's really high.
And then
Hi.
cutting through behind everyone. If other people see him fall and he falls down here and they come to look, our party will be over.
It's dark. It's raining, Ezra. Everyone's looking down or covered with an umbrella, hurrying their way home. Who's looking at a bridge?
Well, we're looking at a bridge, which means somebody else might be looking at a bridge.
We're not like other people, are we?
Well, that doesn't mean that they're less than us.
The two of you look like shit.
Thank you. I hadn't noticed.
Are you missing a tooth?
For now. I'll find a spare.
Khalil, can I get you please at this moment to roll me a d3?
That's 2.
So you add 2 to your pulse and 1 to your chaos. I am also going to roll a d8 for a consequence of what you've just done. Okay. You're having this conversation. As Echo is looking up at the man, you watch as he goes to like grab onto the last brick before reaching the top, slips and falls 50 feet and lands directly, strongly onto the cobblestones. And I would like you to add another chaos, please.
Sorry, for reference, is this a bridge over water or a bridge over...
Bridge over road. This is Edinburgh, so it's just over road.
Sorry, my knowledge of
Don't
Edinburgh
worry.
is...
You're all good. It is a very kind of up and down city with lots of bridges over tunnels and streets. So this man lands onto cobblestones. Echo is running. Khalil, if you add one more chaos onto Rami, as this man dies.
I think as Echo is running in, Rami will also run in saying, don't worry. I'm a doctor. Don't worry. It's fine. Stand back, people. And start to kind of like drag the body, maybe with Echo's help.
Echo is leaning over this body and she's taken both of his hands and is now crying over him and apologizing to him.
Yes, you take the hands, I'll take the feet. Off we go.
We weren't supposed to be doing stuff. We were supposed to be keeping things nice for everyone so that everybody can just have a nice time, and now you're going to make it very difficult for everybody to have a nice time because you did that. He didn't need to.
I tried to have a nice time today. And someone did this to me. So I am not in the mood to be nice. I'm in the mood to be petty. I'm in the mood to have some fun. Sorry, Echo. I shouldn't have snapped at you, but it's been a long night already. Let's just get this fellow off the street. Mhairi was looking forward to a spiced snack anyway. We can...
I am really hungry, and this cigarillo tastes like shit. And you realize she's chewing the cigarillo he threw away. So she'll come over and help you move him.
Ezra, what are you doing in this moment?
I'm sort of looking around. What's the reaction of the other people at this party? You said that there were some mortals and some undead or immortal people.
Some people are a bit panicked. A couple, the two middle-aged men are eyeing it very interestedly.
And are they mortal or?
They are mortal. You know these two men.
They're from the university. Or. Mm-hmm. I will just sort of step forward casually and say, "Oh, it's a sad thing when something like this happens, but from time to time people are possessed by the fervor of a past life or a future one, as I've been telling you all these days. And they make decisions like this."
It's well, it's quite sad, but it could save us a job. Do you mind if we take him?
I've got claim on this one, fellas. You can fuck off.
Sorry.
No, don't worry, Mhairi.
A bit strong there.
Okay, next time. You owe us, we won't say anything.
Have to honor that one.
Echo, how are you doing?
She's a mess. She's not helped move the body. She's just stood watching these two pull it away and then watching Ezra speak to these men, and she's just crying and stood unable to do anything.
I think once Mhairi has kind of once we've got the body out of kind of main visibility, I think I'll kind of I'll drop the ankles and leave the body to Mhairi and kind of be like, enjoy, bon appetit.
Listen, I don't know if they heard me shouting. You tell those fuckers I got claim on this one, right?
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure Ezra's got it covered.
Yeah.
I'm just going to check in on Echo.
Yeah, right, you have fun. And she's going to plunge all of her teeth into the neck of this corpse.
Okay. You do that, and the sadness that you were feeling, you feel euphoria more than you have ever felt.
This is what it was like. This is what it was like. She's like talking to the body. This is what it was like when those books were burning and the people were crying for the books. I could never make anyone cry for books. They would go running for children and doggies and vases and jewelry, but no one ever cries for books anymore.
No one else sees this. The head turns to look at you.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Enjoying the meal?
Yes, I was.
Well, go on. This is Michelin.
Oh, well, if you don't mind, I will, yeah.
No, it's fantastic. Just tell other people that this was the best meal you've ever had.
Sure. You're not going to show up here and be like, this is like our hangout. It's going to like really ruin the vibe if you start coming here.
I'm dead, mate. I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, I thought you were coming back. You're going to stay dead?
I'm going to stay dead. Just tell other people that you had a really good time.
Right, will do. Shut up now. You're kind of messing with my enjoyment.
Rami, as you walk away, you watch as Mhairi talks to a body that does not talk back.
The world contracted. Nothing but the body beneath him trembling once, then still. The blood filled his mouth and thick pulses hopped and urgent. It wasn't just sustenance, it was memory, emotion, truth. He tasted the bile first. Sharp, acrid, sour as regret, fear, shame, the cloying bitterness of secrets never confessed. But beneath it, deeper, oh so much deeper, was the passion. It surged up like a buried fire. Lust, rage, devotion, each swallow was a revelation, a lover's name choked back for decades, a fury barely held in check, a joy so fierce it had once made the host weep in solitude, all of it his now. He gasped, blood running down his chin, laughing silently into the dark. Never had he felt so alive.
Psilocybin.
And as you're walking towards Echo, before you get there, Echo, you feel two hands on your shoulders from behind.
I'll pan around.
And you'll see that just wearing like a little face mask is that same woman from earlier. They're there. This is... You don't need to cry over a little spilled blood.
It didn't need to happen.
Well, it happened though, didn't it? And she'll point at a puddle on the cobblestones, like, look, you're messing up that pretty face.
I don't know. People used to say the sadness looked good on me.
But behind your head, you don't like see them kind of rolling their eyes. Yes, it does, but come on, let's get you cleaned up.
Do I watch this? Do I see this interaction from my
You
conversation
see
with?
everything that's going on. You've got an eye over this whole space right now.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'll turn to the two gentlemen who I'm talking to, and I'll say, "If you'll excuse me, I need to attend to my colleagues. Sometimes they're a little bit. Parties are a little hard for them. But I would remind you, I do have a lecture coming up and I saw your names on the list. I'm delighted if you make it. We can talk more about the ideas of life and freedom and all of these things that I have been telling you about."
Well, we'll be there. Looking forward to what I'm sure is to be an incredibly informative 3 hours.
It will be. I promise you that. And I will turn and walk toward Echo from the other side of Rami. And there's this. Do we see this woman?
Mm-hmm.
So as this woman seems to be like taking Echo, I'll step up to sort of intercede and introduce myself.
Oh, hello.
Good evening.
Can I help you?
Yes, I couldn't help but notice you're taking care of my colleague here, and I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Ezra, and I extend a hand to shake. And who might you be? I haven't seen your mask around here.
She does not extend a hand back.
I didn't ask your name. That was very rude of me. We've met twice now, and I didn't ask who you were.
I
Oh,
didn't
you
offer
know
it.
this.
No, you're okay. Yes, we met earlier today in a lovely little art boutique.
Fantastic. How are you finding the party?
Oh, it's pardon my French, is a bit fucked.
Well, sometimes it does get a little rowdy here, but we do have a good time.
Usually men falling to their death.
In my defense, it's been a rough evening already. Apologies. I didn't mean to interject. But we've all have to let off a little steam every now and again. This is what this city runs on, apparently.
And that's how you do it? Getting people to jump to their death?
He didn't jump.
Pushed, I guess, is more correct.
He climbed, and then he stopped climbing. I didn't do anything.
You roll my duplicity roll.
Four. Oh, well, no, I rolled 2d6, don't I?
Yes, yeah.
5.
You could try to get the blood running and roll
What is
again.
the consequence of
Adding chaos?
And what is the consequence of adding a lot of chaos? Because I've already got a decent amount of chaos.
Well, you're role playing it very well in that when your chaos is high, you're chaotic, and also at the end of the session, whoever's got the highest chaos, something happens.
Okay. I'm not going to push myself because I know that this person, like I know that other undead will know what's going on. I just have to profess innocence as plausible deniability. So.
Okay, you did nothing wrong. Okay, perfect. We can agree, I'm sure. Yes. Ezra.
Ezra puts a hand on Rami's shoulder. Just the grip is a bit too tight like right, that friendly sort of like shoulder, collarbone squeeze.
You feel something crack slightly, as if there's like a crunch of bone and cartilage, as if that's already injured.
Ooh, Rami here is new and still getting acquainted to how we do things. One of the newer members of our department. And
Dr. Rami Ali, at your service. I offer a hand.
She does not extend one.
Visiting professor from abroad.
I see.
Echo, would you like to introduce us to your friend here?
At this point, you'll notice that Echo has spent the whole time staring at this person, trying to see if I can see under the mask or anything around them, but generally just in awe. You didn't give me your name.
No, I did not. Looks around. Well, first of all, I think that your other friend, part of your group, and gesturing over to Mhairi, is having some form of a moment. My name is Beatrice.
I love the name Beatrice.
My parents gave me it. I just grown to be accustomed to it.
I also use the name my parents gave me.
I have to be proud of where that all comes from, even if it doesn't fully fit.
It's more from lack of better options after a time. You sort of go around for a while and come back and settle on something.
No, that I do get that.
People around here seem confused, surprised by my birth name. So I chose one that ruffled fewer feathers.
And, Beatrice, what brings you to town?
Well, I actually, I do live here in the city. I am from the Morningside area, but decided to take a wander here in the centre. Have you all been feeling that things are a little off? Sniff the wind. You'll feel it.
All I smell is smoke and shit.
Exactly. Normally, you would be able to pinpoint happiness, sadness. But that's not happening. Why is that not happening?
Antonio was speaking about something earlier today. What? You've come here for business.
I've come here to see if something is wrong. And I've found that, yes, it is.
Wrong in this?
Wrong in this, there is some form of hum on the streets. Your friend is talking to a dead body.
A man fought a crocodile
Yes, but
earlier this evening.
she
That
does
is
sometimes
strange.
just talk to things. It's not particularly out of the ordinary for her.
But Antonio was speaking of a hum as well. I took it to mean that times were ripe for taking, as usually comes the heartbeat of a place coming up. That's what she said. Does that sound like something you resonate with? The heartbeat of the city, if a city could have a life of its own?
Yes, that feels correct. I can't pinpoint it. I've been asking questions around, and no one seems to know or be willing to share. But this city is sick. Something's wrong. The only one who I've been told might have answers Do you know a butcher, Morag? Morag. Bane, I believe.
Morag Bane. Do we?
You would all know Morag, who is an undead leader at the flesh market.
Yes.
You think he knows something?
I think she might have information on something. That's all I've been told. But it was a rat who told me. Which again, that's odd. I've never had a conversation with a rat before.
Animals can be very wise.
Is there a way to get a sense of the nature of this person? What kind of stripe of undead they might be? Because I'm assuming that they're undead at this point.
Yeah, they are an undead individual. You would have got the kind of goosebumps up your arms to know that they are another undead. They are another vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get any I was going to say, do I get any predatory vibes off Beatrice? And I don't mean that in the way that we are all predatory, but in her interest in Echo. Because I don't have many friends, so I'm quite protective of the ones I do have.
Okay. You can. I say that you could potentially, as a kind of protective stance, to make a savagery roll, as though you're trying to protect someone.
That's a 5, but I'm gonna get my blood going.
Okay.
That's an 11.
Okay. You get a little bit of a feeling that there's more to her interest here than what she has told you so far.
Okay. I will I think I will try to position myself in the conversational group so that I'm kind of ideally interceding between Beatrice and Echo. Not in a kind of super obvious way, hopefully, but just in a kind of subconscious group body language way.
Okay. As you move to do that, Mhairi, have you finished your feed? Are you continuing the conversation? What are you doing?
I think I've had enough of him for now. I'll kind of meaningfully looking at the two gentlemen, push them to one side. Not for fucking you. And wander over to the group.
You just hear one last call going,
Remember, tell everyone.
I fucking heard you, shut up. Did they use... I swear they didn't used to be this talkative.
Mhairi.
Ezra.
Right on time as always.
Mm.
I would love to know your opinion because you tend to have a different feel of things than I do. Have you felt a pulse within the city lately?
No, this place is dead.
A taste on the air?
No, my friend, who's a dog, said he smelled something different. But he does say a lot of things.
Animals can be very wise.
So you heard it from a rat, and you heard it from a dog, and you heard it from a person.
I heard it from my wife, who I tend to... She gets to things, some of these things a little quicker than I do, but it seems that there's something subtle brewing. Beatrice, thank you for coming. Are you seeking help?
Beatrice, don't I know you?
I'm not 100% sure. Where might I know you from?
Marrakesh?
The air shimmers with heat and spice, the streets alive with colour and bargaining voices. And there, beneath the sun-bleached awning of striped canvas, she appeared. A woman in a robe of fine cloth, deep indigo threaded with gold, glided through the crowd like a whisper. Her face was veiled, but her eyes held centuries. She stopped him, a dashing young archaeologist, hat askew, dust on his collar, charm in his smile. No words, just a look. And then, from within her sleeve, she drew it. A scarab, jet black, ancient, humming with something old. She placed it in his palm with reverence, and as quickly as she'd come, she vanished into the maze of streets. And he just stared at the thing, as if it had spoken his name. She doesn't say anything back.
Maybe you just have a similar mask to that person.
She'll smile subtly. Yes, it would be very helpful. I don't feel accustomed to entering places such as that. So I thought coming here and finding some, for want of a better word, layabouts like yourselves might be able to help.
Layabouts?
Oh, you are parting under a bridge.
We could always help. It's not going to hurt us to go and ask some questions and go and help people. I think it's probably the least we could do to help people after what some of us made happen tonight.
What do you fucking do?
As I say that, I'm gonna put the shawl that I've been holding for you around Rami's shoulders to give you some more shelter from the rain.
Oh, thank you. Oh. But I'm Echo. I've been trying. Okay, I've been trying to fit in and to learn how all this works. I've been trying to learn to read all these weird symbols that you people use, and it's all just sometimes a little bit much.
No, absolutely, and you've been doing really well. I mean, the last one they didn't end up dying at all. They just had a good time, like you said that they would. And I think that's probably what you thought would happen this time. And I'm sure you didn't mean for it to go as badly as it did. But given that it didn't end quite as we had hoped that it might have, maybe to balance the scales a bit, we could do a good thing to make it more even.
From behind Echo's shoulder, you just see the flash of a little jackal face.
In my head, there's the image of a set of weighing scales, and on one side is a real big feather. And look at Echo and I say, well, yes, that would be the right thing to do. And as for my intentions with this fellow this evening, Echo, you know I would never lie to you. Let's go.
And with that, she will happily let you all move on, unless there's anything else that anybody wants to do in this particular space.
I have just a couple of questions about the organization of vampires within Edinburgh. We have a little coven or cauldron or whatever we call it, our group within the anatomy department. It's, I guess, the 4 of us, and then there's Antonia and maybe Are there other people? Is the assumption that vampires tend to group together in small groups? Are we territorial? And do I have a sensation that there's something odd with Beatrice coming across the city to find new people?
You would know that there are a number of different factions that exist across town. Some of them are more powerful than others. Some of them are more organized. Your group, for example, are just a group of friends. You wouldn't normally be seen as like a little faction that is in any way a threat to the larger groups. They tend to be more upper class, a little bit more money, trying to pull strings from behind the scenes. And it might feel a little odd that someone from Morningside has made their way to the South Bridge.
Beatrice.
Yes.
It would be wonderful to dig into the particulars of this, perhaps somewhere a little bit more comfortable than under the bridge sheltering from the rain.
Couldn't agree more.
Wouldn't mind. We could retire to my parlor, or you could come on a different day. But I would ask, before we start any further business or inquiry together, who else is involved? Why us, of all people, seeking out a bunch of, as you called it, layabouts under a bridge when there's many other people within the city?
Well, sometimes it's the people you least expect that can make the biggest impact. And I watched what happened on that bridge. But yes, perhaps we should retire. Sorry, Echo.
Earlier you said that you thought that I was following you, so were you following me?
No, absolutely. Why would I be following you?
I don't know.
No. We just happened to be in the right place at the right time, twice in one day.
How odd.
How odd indeed. Shall we retire?
Happens more often than you'd think.
You should come to my lecture, by the way. It's about how the universe all happens at the same time. Never mind. Come to the lecture.
You should go to the lecture. It's only for the greatest
They're very
minds.
fascinating.
Only the greatest minds.
Perhaps I may. Well, let's go talk some more, shall we? Do you have wine?
I do have wine. Yes, of course.
Wine
All right.
would
Got
be
better than
Oh
wine.
my god.
I
I
mean,
forgot. Yes, of course we have wine, but if we all go back, I'll have to buy more tomorrow. Okay, let's go. Yes, we have wine.
Wine would be
Antonio's gonna
lovely.
kill me.
The scene fades.
Oh, as we're walking away,
Mhm.
I put my arm around Ezra's shoulder and say, Ezra,
Yes.
do you want to earn some money? We could make a killing.
I'm comfortable.
But hear me out. Have you ever fought a crocodile?
I'm a tenured professor.
Let's talk about it later.
And as we fade from this scene, there is just another individual standing on a roof, watching. The blood, warm, vital. I've stoked it beyond reason. Joy unchecked, passion unrelenting. Cities erupting in laughter, lovers burning like wildfire, and no one stops to think. No phlegm to cool them down, no black bile to sober their minds. Just frenzy, fever, ecstasy. I've turned the world into a dance floor on fire, and they should thank me for the match. So, folks, as you all make your way to Ezra's for a lovely evening of wine, information, and a bit of explaining to do to Antonia, I think, we should resolve who has the highest chaos in the group right now. What are our values? I think I know who it is.
I think I know who it is. My chaos is 7.
Same.
Samesies.
Ooh, okay, we have the same. Okay, so when you have a tie with the level of chaos, we're going to get you to roll a d6 each, and whoever is the highest chaos. So you want to roll low if you don't want to get any sort of impact on you. 4. Okay, Khalil, do you have access to a d8?
Always.
What do you take this man for?
6.
6. Okay. Reveal a new contact who is immediately a rival. And we'll find out who that is at the beginning of the next episode.